Hello and welcome to Cooking Your Way Through Life.
Today's episode is Cooking Your Way Through Self-Love. And today we're going to make a self-love meal just for you.
Cooking Your Way Through Life is a podcast combining knowledge of the kitchen and applying it to real-life situations. This podcast is all about understanding techniques to make things you already know even better. Topics from traveling on a budget, setting and achieving short and long-term goals, and of course, cooking.
On today's episode, we're going to go over self-love. What is self-love? It is true, but it's also cliche. You can't love anybody else until you love yourself. So we're going to give you some things that we do to also increase our self-love. I'm also going to teach you how to make a meal just for you. I know sometimes we're always worried about other people, but go into airplane mode sometimes. So today, it'll be the meal by you for you.
Please welcome Chef Hollywood.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cooking Your Way Through Life with me, Chef Hollywood. And today we're going to be talking about self-love. So you cannot love somebody else if you don't love yourself. And so we're going to get into what is self-love to you, because it's all individualized. It's about yourself. But also in doing so, we are going to talk about my 4 steps to making the ultimate meal of self-love. It's like a luxurious meal for yourself. You can share with others, but ultimately it's like being in airplane mode. You got to put your mask on before you can save anybody else. So gonna dive into that as well. I wanted to have a co-host with this episode because I didn't want to just talk about my self-love. Be weird. So I brought back somebody that you know if you've been listening to the podcast. And if you haven't, then Miss Tinesha, can you introduce yourself for the people? Let them know who you are and welcome back.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be back. My name is Tinesha Tutt, and I am a broker associate selling real estate in Florida and Georgia, and a whole bunch of other states too. And I'm also an event curator, so I host events for the community, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Welcome. I actually am looking to have a couple friends that are real estate agents. I have not bought real estate for any of y'all, but it's coming one day,
It's coming.
That depends on my listeners. You guys run this up. I can run to Tanisha and buy some real estate. So
Right.
this is all one big plan. So keep subscribing and keep sharing all the everything. So
I love it.
as far as self-love, sorry. As far as self-love, I also wanted to have somebody on today who I feel is a very confident person, really knows herself. So I feel like this was a great move here to have you on this show because I wanted to talk to somebody who I kind of look at and be like, I feel like they got it. They got the self-love already there. So, and I know the other side of love life. So, So this is a changing thing because it always fluctuates. But I ask you right now, what does self-love look like for you? And has it changed over time for you or has it been constant?
So I feel like self-love, a lot of people have like this idea of self-love that it's like going to the spa, going to, get a manicure and all these things. But for me, self-love is just like being able to do whatever I want to do. So if that means that I want to sleep in and rub my feet together for a couple extra hours, that's, taking care of myself. And I think in this season, more than ever, I'm more focused on, just not being so overworked and being burnt out on business because as a realtor, a lot of the times people come to us and think we're like 24/7, open all the time, hot sign, always on business. But and there's no like hard boundaries. So I think right now, like for me, it's like setting those boundaries. So like at the beginning of this year, I said Sundays are my complete days off. I don't answer customers. And a lot of my customers adapted to that. And also I think they sort of like are taking, that time to rest as well and not think about all the numbers and, everything that comes with that. So I think before I used to be the girl that was like, okay, it has to be a whole, I'm going to lunch and going to the spa and all this other stuff. But now it's just like, okay, I can wake up and decide that I want to go on a trip. I want to go, I want to, just go enjoy the day. I want to go hang out with friends. It's just really just like my mindset about it is different. So in this season, it's just doing whatever I desire to do.
I like that. I like that. I definitely like because basically you're an entrepreneur as a real estate agent, and you're right. Like you have to set the boundaries because otherwise you will be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you don't say so. Because
Hmm.
like, and I think too, like because I'm a contract worker because I work on the ships, but then I also have my own business. The same thing. Like I have to pretty much set those boundaries because part of my self love right now is kind of just is being in the moment. I feel like I'm doing so much. And I always say, like, this is my season of planting. Like, I'm planting so many seeds. And I definitely want to continue working to watch them grow. But I've been forcing myself lately to, like, take a day or, like, take a moment to be like,
Hmm.
woo. Oh, man. Like, you just got to, like, love yourself a little bit. Like, take a little time out for yourself because you just burn out. Like, you really
Yes.
won't have anything to give. So
Yep.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Burnout is real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like that you're talking about like the spa and stuff because I think I mean, this is also about like I tell people about travel because I love to travel. But I think one size fits all does not apply to anything in life
Yeah.
really, but especially something like self-love because like if you're not a person that likes a spa or that that likes something like it won't really help you. Like it's not going to be
Yes.
relaxing. It's not, you're just wasting money doing something.
Yep. Just to
Like
post it on Instagram, be like, "Oh, I'm at the spa," whatever.
yeah, no, like
Yeah,
it,
yeah, I agree with that too. And even sometimes in certain seasons, the spa is not what I need. That's what I think I need, whatever. But
hmm
really, I need to go on a walk, or really, I need to go have lunch with myself, or whatever. I am a big advocate for going on dates with yourself. I don't care if I'm in a
hey,
relationship or not. Like, I'm always gonna go on my solo dates, because I think it's so important. And I used to feel like it was weird, like, oh, people
yeah.
staring at me, whatever. But like, child, I don't care. Give me my little drink, my little drinky
Yeah,
drink, and give me, my little appetizer or whatever, and just like enjoying yourself. Like I think that's part of self love is like learning how to enjoy your own company. Because
hmm
if you don't, then like when because people come and go in seasons, and so when you have and businesses come and go, or whatever in seasons, and so when those things go, you don't want it to be like that was the only thing your life was depending on to be
yeah,
happy. And so when you have, your self love and just like the ability to love, your own company, those things matter less when they go. I might still shed a
yeah.
tear or something, but like
Yeah, we still keep a G, but yeah,
full thug tear.
but you gotta keep moving. So
Right,
you do
right.
have to have that foundation or base of like being like liking your own company. So I agree because
Hmm.
I take a quick solo trip in a minute. Like
Yes.
I love a solo trip, even if I am in a relationship. Like it is just like sometimes because too, because you are this way, you literally do this for like you do planning as part of your job. But like
Yeah.
when you're the planner in your friend group or in the person, a solo trip or just like a solo date or just like going out is so relaxing because you don't have to worry about everybody else. Like,
Yep.
like,
Yep.
like it's just so it's like turn off that whole side of your brain. So
Hmm.
yeah, it definitely is much
Yeah.
needed. And I will say, especially for like your younger people listening to this, because I was the same way. I used to hate people looking at me like, oh, he's just here by himself, or like, bro, like they not really worried. And if they worried about you that much, like they're not having a good time. So like, don't even
Yeah.
think about it. Like,
Yeah.
enjoy your meal, enjoy your drink. I love going to the movies by myself. Like, I don't
Uh-huh.
want to talk to you during the movies anyway. So why are we there? Like, it's
Right, right.
like
That's so
so.
true.
Yeah, like I never go on a date to the movies, like so it's okay. Like just go enjoy
That used to be the
yourself.
thing back in the day. A little date to the movies and
Yeah,
talk
but it's
about
like
nothing.
it's a worst date. Like you don't. It's good if you're already in a relationship, but it's a horrible date to get to know somebody. So it's
Yes.
like you're not doing anything anyway.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
that
for sure.
leads me into what we're talk about next, which is kind of like showing yourself love when life gets heavy. Because we are at both of us are at good points in our life. Thank you, God. We out here,
Yes.
shining, shining. But when you're not at your best, when you're not feeling so great, how do you show yourself love in those cases?
So I feel like right now journaling is like my biggest thing. I feel like sometimes you gotta get everything like everything becomes heavy because everything's in your head,
Hmm.
and so sometimes you gotta write it out or whiteboard it out. I'm big on whiteboards too, and just have like those sessions with yourself. Like, okay, what's weighing on my brain like so heavy, and what do I need to say out loud? Because sometimes we become so, especially as entrepreneurs, we become so busy, and sometimes we forget about just like the small moments of, eating dinner at the dinner table, or whatever, instead of in the car, or like, just like the on the go hustle and bustle. So sometimes it's just a matter of like, okay, everything is so busy right now, and now I need to like offload this somewhere. So I'm big on journaling first and figure out
Gotcha.
what is like the disconnect, to try and figure out like what's weighing on me, and then sort of like figure it out from there. And of course, like talk to God about it. I'm big on that too.
Yeah, I think journaling is a big one. My friend Spencer is always telling me to journal more. I feel like journaling and meditation are
Mm,
things that help me, but I definitely need to remind myself to do them.
yeah.
Um, and I meditate more when I'm on a ship because everything's going so fast. The world is always moving. You got like I'm so in my head, and just taking that like 10 to 15 minutes just to go outside on the ship or even just like anywhere just to feel the sun, feel the wind, and just
Yeah.
like it does kind of just reset me if I feel the same way. I like the whiteboard because I also love a whiteboard or like writing stuff
Yes.
down. Like I'm like I will like I'll do a cheat sometimes if I'm feeling like a little down or like if I know I need a little bit of like a ego boost to myself, I would do a to-do list.
Mm,
And when I mark out something off my to-do list, like I feel so
baby.
good. And I was be like, let me make a quick little to-do list I know I can knock out today. And like that whole like marking it all just feels so good. Like I was really good today. I did it. Like
Yes. Yes, those to-do lists, they do me good too, because I literally will, when I write down like a big list of stuff and I see
mhm.
like at least 5 or 10 marked off that list, it just is like it definitely is an ego boost for real, because you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I can do anything.
I did that.
I did
Yeah.
that. And
And
knowing
it
you
keeps
only
pushing you.
sent
It
one
keeps
email.
exactly. But it do keep pushing you to be like, okay, well, I did that and I could do this and like or at least for me, like this is my little cheat code. It's just like, let me jump into this thing. Because the other side
Yeah.
of it for me is and I feel like especially as entrepreneurs, because y'all keep society, social media keep making it seem like we all need to be entrepreneurs. It's not for the faint. The other side of it is hard to turn off. Like it's hard for me to relax now. Like
Hmm.
some days I have to force myself to be like sit still, relax, watch TV, like just because you're always constantly in your head and thinking about stuff. It's like, oh, I could have been doing this, or I could have been doing that. And I think I
Yeah.
haven't even been getting like down as in sad lately, but I've been feeling heavy as in like I've been having so many thoughts and things I want to do, and I have to like
Yeah.
quiet the noise. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think as visionaries, we are always like, okay, what's next? And
Mm-hmm.
what's like we always know we can do more. And so sometimes it's hard to sit in those moments like and be like, okay, I accomplished something. And so I haven't said this publicly, but I said it at the beginning of this episode, but I got my broker's license and my instructor's license. I guess a little over a month ago, and
Ooh.
thank you. But like I was like, okay, what's next? Like after that, and I was like, wait a second, let me like actually sit
Take your
down and
time.
like
Yeah.
whatever. Them tests was hard,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, and sometimes we don't take a moment to like be like show gratitude for the things that we have accomplished, and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, because that sort of takes the weight off too. It's like, okay, because we're always thinking about what's next, and the next thing, okay, I accomplished that, next on the list, or whatever. It's like we don't take a moment to like be like, okay, I'm really doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely I agree like that. You need to take a moment to kind of just like give yourself a pat on the back and like realize what you've done and what you accomplished, because it is like what you said, like that's a big feat and then you already thinking what's next, but like you did so much like to get that, so you gotta like
Yeah.
be in it. I just told my big brother, my cousin Jeremy, and I hope he don't mind me sharing this because I am. But I'm super proud of him because he said he wanted to be debt free, and so he made a plan. And he sold his house. He bought his new house that he's in now, so he has no mortgage.
Why he didn't
And
use me? I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I did hook him up with I said I got a couple real estate friends, but
I know.
but like he bought that house and like he's debt free, and then he's working on becoming like fully debt free with like no credit cards and stuff. But he was like stressing about it, and I was like, yo, like you just did something that most people would never do. Like you just like you accomplished something so amazing. Like I just want you to enjoy it. Because I was like on the other side of it too. I'm always trying to remind myself that if you're a man of God or a woman of God or like a woman of faith or you believe in the universe even, like if you keep asking for something but then you're not actually happy when you get it, you kind of feel, like if I'm the person giving it to you, I'm just like, well, shit, like they never gonna be satisfied, like
right.
like like so I think you need
always
to
want something more.
Always want something more. So I was like, take a moment. I think it's always good to be hungry for more, but like also if you do not respect and really care for the things you are given, like you're just taking it for granted, So,
yeah.
Like, and don't downplay yourself. Like that ain't no little feat. Like,
right.
Yeah. So shout out to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, before we get too much into this self-love over here, we're going to get into some food prep. And like I said earlier, I just wanted to focus on like, I think of like self-love, you treating yourself if you go out on a meal and something like, you not take yourself to a date to Taco Bell by yourself. I mean, you might, I'm not judging, but what I'm saying is like, you want to think about luxurious meals or like, like treating yourself the way you want to treat others. And I think you got to start with yourself. So I want to do like a 4-step process to like preparing your version of an amazing meal. It kind of ties into self-love. The first one is the preparation. And it's all about setting the mood and the intention. Like self-love begins in preparation. You got to decide like, what are you going to do? You're going to journal today? Is this a day for the spa? Like, what are you doing? So your mise en place for your meal is that preparation. You need to figure out what you want to eat and cook before you just go into the grocery store, especially going to the grocery store. It's really bad going to the grocery store hungry or not knowing what you want. And you need to like get to the house, and you always want to set out everything in your mise en place, everything in its place first. So that's going to be the start of you setting that meal. For today, for show purposes, so we'll say like, what is your favorite protein? T? What is it?
Okay, my favorite protein is either a salmon or a redfish.
Okay, let's go. Can we do red snapper? Is that good?
Yeah, red snapper. Yeah.
All right, let's go. So we're gonna say I'm gonna do red snapper today. And if I know I'm gonna make red snapper, for me, I like the skin on the red snapper if I make it crispy. So you like the skin when you do the red
Extra
snapper?
crispy.
Perfect. So we're going to do red snapper. So when I get that together, I know I want red snapper and I know I'm going to make that crispy. So that means I'm going to be using stovetop. So I'm not going to just bake it in the oven. So some of my mise en place is going to include like some sauces or actually some components to make my sauce. I definitely want to start with some onions, some garlic, have some scallions on there. And I'm going to get all that chopped out, taken out of the refrigerator, ready to go. Step 1 is set. Now, Step 2 is what T just decided, the protein, because your protein is the centerpiece of your self-worth. Like self-loving is knowing when you're enough. So like you got to start it. Like no one's going to love you more than you. So if you don't love yourself, like how you expect somebody else to give you love? So your protein is the star of the dish. It's a star. You're the star. It ties in. So you got to remember that the protein, if you do not cook it properly, nothing else is going to matter. You can think about 5 times you just went to a restaurant, and if the main protein wasn't good, were the sides good enough to make up for it? Like, you see, yeah. So most time people will forgive the side dishes if the protein or the main is okay, but it's rarely the case if it's the opposite. So you have to put most of your focus into that protein, making sure that it's amazing. So if we're doing a pan-seared red snapper today, couple tricks for you. You want that sear and you want it to be extra crispy. You want to take all the moisture off of the skin. So moisture is your worst enemy when getting it very crispy. And you want to make sure that when it goes in the pan, it sears and it does not start to steam. So the moisture makes it steam. the dryness will make it sear. So we're gonna have some nice little, since I feel like going Caribbean here, I love red snapper. So let's use coconut oil in the pan. Want to keep it light and just like really flavorful with the red snapper. So just a little bit of salt, pepper, and let's do a little garlic powder on there. Do that on the top. Get a nice sear on the salmon, skin side down. Because if you want the skin to be crispy, that's going to be your presentation size. That's going to go in first. Let it get crispy, fully cooked through, and then flip it over. This is another thing, guys. Only flip once. For my 27 flippers out there, this is not, we're going to stop doing that. We want one flip. You want to get that crispiness on that side, flip it that next side, and then we're going to take it out of the pan.
You can at me next time.
You can add. See, I wasn't even coming for you, but now we're gonna get you. So like, just stop. Just let it flip one time. Let it do its thing. Patience is a good thing to remember when doing this. And then I said the last thing about this is, because of the fact that we are doing fish or even a salmon, steak, any of this, you do have to let your proteins rest. I know we really harp on that with lamb and like a red meat, but it's the same way. It's like whenever your proteins are cooking, remember that the inside of it, the moisture is moving around because you're breaking down those proteins. So I always say that it's kind of like everything is fighting against each other and releasing all these juices. But once you take it off the heat, they're still fighting. Like it doesn't just automatically stop. So it's going to take a second for them to cool down. It's just like when you're in an argument. You just had an argument. You don't just turn around and now you're a happy-go-lucky person. Like it takes a second for you to cool down. Now, once you cool down, you're good to go. Same thing here. You want to let it rest. And it also goes into this idea of talking about the self-love, because a lot of times it's just like you just need to breathe. We've been talking about so far about like, taking a moment for yourself, writing your journal, going on solo vacation stuff. Like you just have to breathe, get out your own head. So this is that time, and that's why this is the centerpiece of the meal. So we talked about the mise en place, getting everything together. We talked about the centerpiece, which is protein. We're going to come back to the second two, or the third and the fourth one here, and we'll finish this meal. But before that happens, jump back into some self-love here while our redfish rests over here on the side. We're going to get into what is the line between self-love and selfishness for you, if there is one, because some people don't think there is one.
Okay, so I used to think that there was one, but these days I'm like, be selfish. Be selfish because at the end of the day, this may sound bad, but like I don't mean it as harsh as I say it, but everybody is really for themselves at the end of the day. So there's never going to be a moment where someone is going to let's say you disrespect someone, or whatever. They're not going to, they're not gonna let that go, right? And so like at the end of the day, everybody's gonna fend for themselves or defend for themselves at the end of the day. And of course, like that comes with some great lines or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um, but I think when you put yourself first, when you put God first and then put yourself first, you are able to pour more into other people. And so the more selfish you are, the more you are able to one be able to pour into the people that are around you. And so the idea of selfishness comes from a negative connotation, and so that's why
Mm-hmm.
people like tend to stay away from it. And same thing with being like humble and stuff like that. That comes with a negative connotation, but it's like those words are not meant to be in a negative connotation. Those things are one being selfish is not a bad thing. That means that you one take care of yourself. People love when you take care of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and people love to see you doing things for yourself. That makes you more attractive for one, because they know if you're going to take care of yourself that much, then you're going to do that for somebody else as well. And same thing when it comes to business. If you're a business owner and you are constantly doing for others, which I was at one point, one, you lead to burnout, and two, people don't see the consistency in yourself. And so it's like it's a psychology thing. Like people, when I go online and I see like, you know there might be someone who, that's a career that's like a good one, but let me see. let's just say chef. Like you're a chef, but you're taking care of yourself on a daily basis. Like you're going to the gym, you're going, you're traveling and all that stuff. That makes me more attracted to you as a person, and then in turn makes me want to pay into your business. So, and be selfish.
Be selfish.
Be selfish.
I definitely agree. I feel like there is a very, very thin line. Like I don't know if y'all know that Countess Vaughn meme, but I
Yeah.
always think like her like trying to put it like there's a so thin line.
Yeah.
I used to be like I'm so glad you said the word humble because I feel like, and I talked about this with my therapist, my family. Y'all gonna hear this for the first time, but it's y'all fault. I talked about this with my therapist because like my family, and sometimes like not even intentionally, like made me feel so bad a lot of times for being quote unquote selfish. Like to the point where I was that kind of person where I would drop like, and just this is just monetary, but like I would drop like $500 for like a family member, but then I go to the store and I'm just like, man, I can't buy this shirt. It's like $75. Like that's way too much money. And I kept getting to this point where like I felt so bad doing stuff for me, but I was like, I could be helping other people. Like,
Yeah.
and it got to the point where like it can be manipulative from people to like do that to you. So you do
Yeah.
have to like, if that's happening to you, you feel like that you have to get to a place where you really do get to airplane mode. Like I always say airplane mode because you really can't help other people if you're not helping yourself. And like it does not matter about someone thinking that you're selfish if you're taking care of yourself, but you know who you are as a person. I think that's the biggest thing too, because a lot of times we're always looking at, we don't know the whole picture. Like, if you don't know what somebody's doing for, like most people around you probably do charity work and like mentorships and like free, like with you, I'm pretty sure not everything you do for your clients, you're billing them for, like not
Yeah.
everything you do for event, I feel like some people look at people's lives and when they do things like solo trips or when you're traveling or doing stuff, like they just assume like, oh, but they could be doing so much for A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But it's like, also, isn't that selfish? Aren't you being
Yeah.
selfish thinking that I can just give
Yes.
you?
Right, right,
Like, so
right.
you're calling me something that you are. And it's like,
Yeah.
it took me a long time to like wrap my head around that. So now I do think that I have my selfish moments because you're right. Like at the end of the day, like you can cohabitate with people, you can get married, like your mom and dad, but you came here alone, you're gonna leave alone. Like it's just
hmm Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
at the end of the day, like it's like I don't think it's a matter of being selfish all the time.
Yeah.
Like you said, like those selfish moments, and being able to recognize that too and recognize like your boundaries too, because it's a part of setting boundaries. And I feel like a lot of disagreements, arguments, and friendships end because of the lack of boundaries, and
Hmm.
the lack of having that selfishness, because you didn't voice your opinion or you didn't, say how you felt or, things like that. And that's part of being, selfish is saying like, hey, this is how I feel. This is, what this is doing to me, and just
Yeah.
and being able to speak, and be vocal.
A
So,
hundred percent. 100%. Because also I say this over and over again, like for people that are, if you do know me or if you don't know me, like I do not catch hints, and if you don't at me or say something to me, I'm not like it's not about me. So like that's another thing too. Be vocal, communicate because I'm a very communicative person. I probably
hmm
like my exes probably tell you, well, I ain't, people might tell you that I over communicate, but I just like to know, like I like to have the conversation, like communicate, and yeah, if you don't let me know that something's wrong, I can't fix it, and
hmm
so you do have to do that too, because sometimes talk about being in your head. I've been this person where I'm just like I'm so upset with something or like not liking the way it's going, and like I be in my head now. I'm being selfish. It's like a negative thing because it's like, well, forget y'all too. Like I'm doing my like.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they
Yeah.
had no idea what was going on. So it's
Right,
like,
right. Yes, I think there is a thin line between being selfish to the point where it's disrespectful to other people. So like for instance,
yeah,
like This is a bad example because I was late today. But if you're
See, I
late
wasn't
all
even
the
gonna bring it
time,
up.
shut up. If you're late all the time and consistently, then like that's like a prime example of being selfish to the point where you don't care about other people,
Yeah.
or being disrespectful, or whatever. So I think there's a line there, like when it starts to affect your relationships with other people, or how respectful you are towards other people.
Yeah. And I would say T was late today. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but she's never
Oh my
been like
God.
that person, what you said earlier about like it also affects your aura, like being like if the person that you're looking at like takes care of themselves. I think that's another reason why like when you see T, like because y'all gonna see promo and stuff, y'all might buy a house from her. Like I said that I chose her for this episode not because like she's a beautiful person on the outside, but also on the inside. And I think like you can ask people around her. I think that just exudes self-love to me because now the way that I view it, I know that if you're a genuine person and like you got genuine people around you, you gotta love yourself because nobody like people not really gonna mess with you like that. Like nobody's
Hmm.
messing with nobody that don't love themselves. Like
Yeah.
it's just not gonna happen. So I think that that's another thing too. Like it is your aura, and like you kind of can know if somebody.
Yeah. 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 For
But
sure.
as far as keeping that self-worth strong, what is like if you do have one, is it like a daily mindset or daily act that you do to keep your self-worth strong and like keep it going every day?
Um, So I try to find something consistent every season. So winter months are back, so it's time to get back in the gym. So last year I did 75 hard, and during the winter months, and I probably won't do that again. But um, I was beat, but I think that was like a part of my like self love, as well, because it was like, I think when you have discipline, that shows like a lot of like self love towards yourself. Like it's like, okay, I'm willing to get up every day and choose to do this, whether I feel down about it, whether I feel great about it, but I'm willing
Hmm.
to discipline myself so much, that I want to take care of myself. So I think those like moments, for me, like right now, I think, like my journaling and my devotional are my two biggest things, that I'm doing consistently like every day. So I think that's like my strongest right now. But I think, just in general, like finding that one piece of consistency, and it doesn't. I think when we think about consistency, people think like, oh, I gotta run 5 laps,
Yeah.
around the track today. But like sometimes your consistency looks completely different than somebody else's.
Hmm.
So if you only worked out twice, last month, like okay, let's make it 4 this month. Like so it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
gradual like increase, and just having that gradual, progress. So and not beating yourself up about it.
yeah.
So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think that's a very good point to point out that everybody's looks different. That's to say, even if you have one, because sometimes people don't even have one,
Yeah.
and it might not even be something that you're conscious of. But like, I know, for me, I have been trying to learn a foreign language forever, and I say that loosely because I didn't put in the work. Like I
Yeah.
say that and I'll do like one class, but recently I said to myself that I really want to get serious about learning French and also getting into routine. So I do work out when I'm on the ship, and my thing is when I'm on a ship working, when you guys see me at sea, like it's so easy for me to do it because a lot of the distractions are taken away. The gym is literally across the ship or upstairs. Like when I'm not on the ship, like I'm running around so much. I know people to be like, "Oh yeah, you're on vacation," but like it's so much that happens. Like my
Yeah.
theme of the last year has been iceberg. Like when you see an iceberg, you see a small portion of what's on top of the surface, but you don't see what's underneath. Like
Yes. Yeah.
everything we're doing out here, especially as entrepreneurs, as creators, content creators, like we're doing so much that you guys don't see. So it's like I get I get out of shape when I'm off the ship. And then I
Mm.
frustrate myself. But I had to give myself like grace to be like, hey, like, you don't have the same routine and stuff. So but it does feel good. Like you said, like so on those days where I don't want to go to the gym, like I feel so much better afterwards that it pushes me to want to do it the next day. And I think
Yeah.
that's something you have to find. Like the gym might not be your thing, like journaling might not be your thing, learning a different language might not be your thing, but something that after you do it, you do feel like those endorphins that happens, like,
Hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's good that you noted too, like the environment that you're in
Mm,
matters because sometimes we're so heavy because of the environment that we're in. So whether that's the people we're around or maybe the work environment or just in general, like you don't like the city that you live in.
eh,
So I mean, I travel, a lot too. And so, and I
yes.
have traveled a lot and I do, but I think sometimes like when we need that different energy or like we need something new in our lives, like it's just a matter of changing our environment for a time being, but also like learning how to adapt like in different environments and how your mind works too. That's a
Yeah.
challenge for sure because
Yeah.
definitely like when I was going through 75 hard, I feel like because it was a challenge, like I had to complete it. I don't lose a challenge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm very
so
competitive too, so I
yes, we're
understand that.
competitive. And so so with that challenge, yes, it worked. However, I don't know if I could do that on a consistent basis because
Yeah.
we had to do one workout inside, one workout outside, and then it was like a whole bunch of other stuff. But that's not realistic for, an entrepreneur to have two
Yeah.
workouts a day and, all that stuff and,
No.
traveling too, like, or whatever. So, I think adapting to your environments, but I made it work, or
Yeah.
whatever. But that was because I forced myself to, for sure.
Yeah. But that's good. I mean, I'm glad you completed it because I'm also very competitive. Like,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that push me. I mean, I use it to my advantage, but
Hmm.
sometimes I'm just like, whoo, like
Yeah.
just quit,
Right. Give up.
give up.
All my friends had quit like in the middle of the challenge, and they were
Yeah.
like, "We should just all start over." I was like, I didn't got
Mm-mm,
this far. I'm
mm-mm.
not doing it again."
Exactly. No, no, no. Don't be trying to bring me down because y'all quit. No.
Right. Right.
Nah, don't quit out there, guys. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Speaking of not quitting, we're going to finish up this meal. And I will say we're going to hit number 3, which is the size. And it's all about the balance and support, which we just talked about. Now, I talked about on the first step, getting your mise en place together. When you're at home and you're doing this, you can already think about your size. But what I do is I actually base my size off of the protein that I pick. So that's why when I ask T, like, what does she want to eat? Then I'll change like the size based on that. And then you can just, quickly get your sides meased out again. Like, I think that's something that people, and this actually goes into self-worth and like having that balance. Just because you see a chef or somebody say like, get your mise en place together, get everything out. Like, we say that for each and every step. Like, you don't have to be a
Mm.
person that gets the entire thing out at the same time. But if you're going to make mashed potatoes, get everything out from mashed potatoes before you start the process. If you're going to make this pie, get everything out for the pie. So it
Hmm.
is like, it's setting yourself up to complete each and every task. And kind of like being competitive. Don't quit. Like, you got to see it through. Got to see it through, my
Yeah.
boy. So you got to you got to do it. So now that I know that we're doing crispy, pan seared red snapper, so I am gonna take this to a more of a light Caribbean way. So I think we should put some rice with this, especially because we're gonna create a little pan sauce to kind of like soak up that rice. And then let's go with some. I don't know if you're gonna agree, but I think either kale or green beans. And I'm leaning to kale. I really like
I love
kale.
kale.
All right, perfect. All right. So, and I think for my southern people out there, like, you could do collard greens if you want, but I feel like if you try kale, like especially in this kind of way that we're going to talk about making it, like it'll give you the feel of collard greens, but much lighter and much more flavor in a quicker amount of time. So,
Mm.
let's do both of these because the sides we talked about earlier, if you have a good protein or a good starch, then the sides and the sides are okay, it's okay. But the thing is, your sides are your balance. So if you're just having one perfectly cooked fish, but the sides are like, man, it also does diminish the way that the fish is. So
Yeah.
for the rice, I'm not even gonna hold you guys. Like, I am a professional chef. This is what I do to make a living. But I cook my rice one or two ways: in a rice cooker or in the oven. Like, it's no in between. Like, the rice cooker is your best friend. Like, use the rice cooker. So if you don't have a rice cooker, my quick way to cook rice is to do a 2-to-1 measurement, which is going to be one cup of rice to 2 cups of water. In the oven, you can balance this out with stock if you like to cook with stock or whatever, but you're going to do 2-to-1. You're going to put parchment paper first and then put 2 layers of aluminum foil. You're going to bake that rice for an hour and then check it. As that rice steams up, the parchment paper is going to catch that steam, so it's not just falling right back in. So it keeps it from being super moist, and it gives you that nice cooked rice, and everything stays inside. Easiest way to cook rice if you don't have a rice cooker. Outside of that, use a rice cooker.
I'm gonna tell my mama.
Man, it's so easy. It's the way we cook it in restaurants most of the time. Like I say, I always give a disclaimer. I'm always teaching you one way of doing things. I'm not Jesus. Please don't discard what you used to do. Try what I said. If it works, then keep it. If it's harder, then don't do it. But just give you different ways of doing it. But I like it, and I think it's a good way if you don't have a rice cooker, because it also keeps it out of your way. There's no reason to spend all that time on the rice, because even in this case, we're doing just, I would say, we're doing some ginger scented rice today. So I'll put some either fresh ginger in the rice cooker or in the pan, or some ground ginger. But it's because I know that I'm going to do a quick little sauce, and I don't want the rice to be overpowering with any other flavor. So it's going to be like a way to soak up that sauce. So yeah, do that. Get out of the way. The second side today is kale, which I love. And I did not love it all the way, always, but I do love it now. And with kale, it stays really, to me, it keeps its greenness, which is one, like the appeal of the green is really nice versus cooking collard greens down for days and then they'll turn a little brown, so
Brown.
yeah, so visually it's already more inviting. But I like that it's like a strong vegetable, and you can add a lot of acid to it. So I like using lemon zest, a little extra virgin olive oil. I like mine a little spicy, so some red pepper flakes, salt, pepper, fresh garlic, and then you massage it. I know it might sound weird if you've never done it before. A lot of recipes say this. Just massage it in, like literally in a bowl. You're going to still cut it down the way you want. I like cutting it into strips, like smaller pieces, but you're going to massage everything in, and then you're just going to saute.
Kale like some self-love too.
Yeah, some self-love with the kale. See, it's all working in. You need to like put it in there. So, and side note, if you are like want to be a little more adventurous and you like kale, so you can try this. If you go to your farmer's market or even like some grocery stores like Whole Foods, look for dinosaur kale. It has like it looks like it has scales. Like, it's just so thick. It's more of a prehistoric looking kale. But if you like kale, it like has such a rich flavor. Plus you can get it like, it sometimes comes purple and green. It's just so beautiful. Like, you can just, yeah, so it's really nice. So try that out too. Do a little self-love with that. Saute that baby off. Like, it's going to be very quick to cook through. And then you use the lemon zest. You're going to finish it by squeezing a little lemon juice at the end. The acid's going to like help cook it through, so you still feel like it's completely done, but you have texture. Because my thing about vegetables, guys, is texture. Like, I don't want anything to dissolve in my mouth when I'm eating it. So you want that texture there. So this is going to be good for you. And then last but not least, that you got those sides together for your balance and support. The end of self-love is the plating. And it's like the moment where now you present yourself back. And the plating, the finish itself, is a presentation and indulgence of everything. So plating this meal, for instance, is going to consist of making sure that we highlight that protein, which is going to be our snapper. But we're not forgetting those sides. So I always plate from a standpoint of, when I make a meal, I think about a plate first and I work backwards. And it's kind of like if you're an artist, like if you're a rapper or a singer, you probably think about how you want your album to go. Like if you're doing a love song, like you don't want to put that love song right after Freakum Dress song, right, it's all about that, so I think about my plating like that. And for this one, it's about self-love. So I want to like wow myself with this plate. Now I know that we're doing red snapper, we're doing green kale here, we got the white rice, we're going to do a quick little sauce. I haven't forgot about that. So I can go one or two ways with the plate. I can go white plate because everything's going to pop, or I can actually go blue, like a different hues of blue, because blue is very calming. And when you're having a calming meal, you'll notice like restaurants that give you blue plates. It actually it tells your brain not to eat as much or like not to overindulge, but it also calms you down before. So let's go with a little blue here, a little blue tinted plate. And we're going to start by putting the rice on the bottom. So just put the rice a little off to the side. So not all the way in the center, but like a little off center, a little pad of rice. I want to place my red snapper on top of the rice, skin side up. And then I want to put the top or the portion of the plate that's the other side of the center, for instance. Then I'm going to place my nice sauteed kale. So it's not like you got to use tweezers here, guys. It's just inviting plate, making sure everything's good. And then last but not least, this is just optional, but you know me, I'm going to tie in a little sauce here because we're going a little Caribbean. You can actually do a quick little coconut sauce here because we did the coconut oil, keep it on the Caribbean vibe. The same pan that you fried that snapper in, now it has little pieces in the bottom. This is called fond, F-O-N-D. So we're going to use that to be the start of our nice sauce here. So chop up some onions, chop up some garlic, put those in, let those come up and become aromatic. So really after like 2 minutes, they start to really become very fresh. We're going to deglaze the pan, meaning that we want to get everything up. So we're going to use a little bit of rum because we're thinking Caribbean. So a little Caribbean rum here, pour into the pan, get everything up. You're cooking off that alcohol. The Caribbean rum is left behind. And since we know we're going to go a little sweet with the coconut milk, let's go ahead and add in some fresh peppers if you like. So like some fresh, I would say jalapenos if you're not really big into peppers. But if you really like peppers, trust me on this one, go with habaneros. I know they feel very hot, but they really are, they lean to a sweetness to them. So some habaneros in there. And then once that starts to really get flavorful and you can smell it, add in a little coconut milk. Going to cook the coconut milk down. Instead of adding butter like a French sauce, we're going to use the coconut milk to bring it all together. And it's going to stay on trend with the Caribbean side of it. And what's going to happen is we want to pour this sauce into a little ramekin because you want to have a special moment for yourself. This is your self day. So I love to pour the sauce over the fish. But presentation wise, when you cook, you took all the time to make sure that fish is really crispy. I always tell you, take a bite of the fish first with the crispiness and then pour that sauce over that fish with that rice. All that sauce is going to soak into that rice. And now that becomes a whole different dish. And you have this amazing dish for yourself. So nah.
I'm hungry.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Let's see if I got some coconut milk downstairs.
And I want to say too, most of this, when you think about it, is mostly pantry items. We chose a protein you might have to go buy, but you also can, I mean, there's sometimes where you want to do a side, but maybe you don't have rice that day, you have potatoes. Like always use what you have, utilize your items first, especially in this economy, like please.
Oh.
And and those pantry items like coconut milk. Like when you buy coconut milk, I always do a little trick for people. If you're buying coconut milk, say you want to do this recipe, buy 2 cans of coconut milk. Because you're going to do this recipe, but then like something else might come up and then that gives you another pantry staple now that's there that you can actually do. You don't have to go back to the grocery store. So I always try to do recipes, especially for the home cook. I always think about using that item multiple times because food is expensive, you know, like, and it costs to live out here. So
It is.
yeah. So, and I just like people, my goal for you guys to start cooking more is just because I know it can get redundant and boring. Like a lot of us at the beginning of the year, especially, are on meal prep. And I don't know about you, but I hate eating that same meal 4 days in a row.
Me too.
So
I cannot stand meal prep.
you know, so like a little sauce goes a long way. It can change it. So these little tricks are really good. And I hope that you guys are using them just to like elevate your weekly or daily meal sometimes. So all right.
It.
Nice. Before we get out of here, you want to lead the people with some self-love gems or something that you feel like can kind of be the ultimate self-love advice for the people?
Yeah. So I think that self-love is a journey and it's an evolving journey. So it's never something that's going to be, standard for everyone for one, but you have to figure out what resonates with yourself and and take away that comparison from other people, because that journey is yours and yours alone, which is why it's called self-love. It's not called everybody love. so I just always say to focus on one, yourself and your own journey, and know that that journey it's okay to forever be evolving. It's never going to be like, oh, I made it, or oh,
Mm-hmm.
I finally got the workout plan, together and everything. Like, it's a forever evolving journey, and as you get older, certain things change, and then life changes with that, and sometimes you have to adapt. So just know that adapting, evolving, and yourself is all okay.
Awesome. I love that. I definitely agree. I look at life as a roller coaster. I always say it's ups and downs, and like, yeah, like you can't. And I love you said don't compare, because comparison is the thief of joy, guys. Like, so you cannot compare yourself to nobody else, and yeah, like love yourself, because I feel like at the end of the day, like if the more you love yourself, the more people love you, like we were saying earlier, because you just give off a different energy and a vibe, like, and if you don't love yourself and take that time to invest in yourself, when you do like latch on to other people, now like their whole mood and personality and love, like, is that's all you're feeding off of. And like, you think that you're gonna fluctuate in self-love, you really gonna fluctuate falling behind somebody else. So
Yes.
so yeah, like it's definitely not constant, guys. Like, yeah, like trust the journey, enjoy the journey too. I say that because a lot of times we focus on the destination, like we were saying, like thinking about what's next. Enjoy your journey. Like the journey is a crazy, like, and remember that some people don't even get the journey. So enjoy it while you got
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
All right. Before we get out of here, please tell the people where they can find you, where they can hire you, different states for that too. They want to buy a house. That's a journey too, guys, so let them know.
Yes, please buy a house so I can continue my self-love journey. I'm just kidding. So you can find me at Tinesha, Tinesha Tutt, on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you're on, Pinterest.
Not Pinterest.
But that's my name on all on all platforms. And yes, absolutely. I would love to help you. I love helping. I love helping everybody, but I absolutely love helping my women buy houses. I'm sorry for you, you men, but
Yeah.
the women are bossing it up, and that's a part of their self love journey, is getting something for themselves. So yes, absolutely follow me, and I would love to help you. And thank you so much, Drake, for having me on again.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the time that you took to join me today. I appreciate all my co-hosts. You guys, like, I say it so much like that it might sound like an ad, but I swear it's not. Like, I appreciate, we talk about self-love and taking time and being on time and stuff, but like in real talk, when people show up for you, like, appreciate that like so much, and I really appreciate my friends. So thank you so much for coming. For everybody out there, thank you for listening. I hope you've been enjoying all the new episodes so far. Don't worry, I'm not leaving for another year and a half. It's another one coming next week. I promise. I'm gonna be consistently putting them out because we got the YouTube channel now. So please go over to YouTube and like, subscribe, and share that. Remember, you can listen to each of the episodes on YouTube as well if you just like everything in one spot. So they are now migrated to YouTube as well as already on the different sites to download the podcast. And you can also download the theme song, which is Never Fall, on Spotify, iTunes, and use it on all your reels and stuff. So go ahead and get that as well. So appreciate y'all. Enjoy your day. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to Cooking Your Way Through Life with Chef Hollywood.